Good morning. Welcome to Options Tender. It is the first of the month, October. So we're looking at Tuesday. We got our turnaround Tuesday. I think this was just a simple correction and we continue our move to the upside. So I want to show you in detail on the 65-minute how I come to this conclusion and do a little learning on this, okay, a little education. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is go through SPY on multiple time frames and talk about each of them for anybody that's new here as well. But the 65 will be very telling on exactly what to look for. So we're doing this intraday about 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a supporter. And thanks for everybody that's on Patreon as well, supporting this channel. Without you guys, I don't know if we'd keep doing it. So let's jump into it. We have SPY on the monthly time frame. We have the 2000 top, 21 top, and we're forming 2024 top here. You saw this last month's candle, hanging man candle. I do think we get above it and fail this month specifically. And we have some very, very good time ratios. It's making a lot more sense now. Today gave us a lot of good information just by pulling back like this, okay? So we have negative divergence on all time frames except for, I think, the 65. We'll look at that, and that's what reset those indicators today. So let's go down to the weekly. On the weekly time frame. And what do I mean by divergences? I'm not going to show all of them, but we formed on the monthly, on the weekly, and the daily. We have a high, lower high, as price is making high, higher high, and higher high, okay? And that's happening on the RSI as well. Three peaks. So we're looking for price action to move up to about the 580 area on this weekly time frame. We're just getting a little bit of a pullback. I don't know if that this will, with all the catalysts that are happening, if this will follow through, maybe bullish into Friday and then Monday, and then we'll be looking for some sort of reversal next week. And where do I get that from? So the targets, I'll show you where I get the targets from. I'll show you where I get the time from. We have this time cluster right here. It starts next week. It's the time frame of 10/10. So that's the week of 10/10. It's not on that specific day necessarily. So far, we're in a bullish stance. We're above the 8 EMA. We're above the 20 trending indicator. The 8 EMA is the momentum indicator for us. We have our two peaks here. That was an ascending triangle. We broke out, closed weekly above it, and we're just kind of consolidating in this weekly zone. Okay, so I would consider that a bull flag right there. So just this bullish posture. And I think we were talking about where would price be when this 10/10 comes in. And it looks like we'll have our high coming into that area, and then maybe some sort of lows into any of these clusters way out into December and January. Okay, so I think we'll get our top within this time frame, and we'll be loading in on our puts for the downside after that. Okay, let's move to the daily and see if we can kind of coincide with that. If you're looking for why I got these targets and all this jips and jazz, then you can check out some of the earlier videos. So we had a bearish rising wedge, broke down from it, back tested the wedge, and then made a higher low, and now a higher high. Again, we have divergences forming, our targets up here, and now we can say in that 10/10 area where this target might end up. And so I'll adjust this to, see, it's the week of, so that's Thursday's 10/10, but I'll put this all the way through Saturday, just so it kind of fits around. Okay, so we're looking to get in this time range, we're looking to get this high here. It's not that far above. It's about, it's 580, so it's about 11 points to the upside. That's 110 points on SPX or ES. We're testing the 8 EMA, our momentum indicator on the daily time frame. But really, what's happening just in a traditional sense, this is kind of going downward. Yes, price could still go a little bit lower to test, maybe even the 20. But all this is doing is retesting the breakout. Okay, right where we had this rejection here. Then we had a breakout, back test, moving higher, and back testing again. That's essentially it. Okay. I'm taking a look real quick. Boeing's moving right now, so I'm just looking at that. I'll do a video on Boeing in the next couple days here for the members. So in the traditional sense, we're just back testing the breakout. And so then I see us moving higher all the way out to the week of the 1010. Okay. Now, for our price and time on the daily time frame, gives us just a little bit more precision. We have this cluster here. All right. That's certainly next week. That's 10.6 is the earliest, out to 10.9 there at the latest. Okay, so that gives us a little bit more precise place. That's Tuesday. That's Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday, I believe. We have the 4th. So right in that cluster, I suppose we'd be looking at turnaround Tuesday. If we can get some bullish action from today, maybe even a nice doji candle, and then going into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and a follow through Monday, I could see us topping out. Now, this doesn't have to play out this way. It's kind of closing the gap on other situations. You know, if prices just completely continue to drop into next week, then yeah, we'd be looking for a low at this point. But it seems to be holding. We're holding the breakout. We're holding exactly what needs to happen. And so the all-time high here, I think it might have even touched it there. Looks more clean on this chart here because that was a former all-time high. And then our target, our next and final target for us, it could go higher. There's still a target way up here at 6,000, 599 if need be. But with all these divergences forming, I think that this is it here at the 127, which is the 580. So we hold here, we go to 580. Within this cluster, massive, beautiful cluster. It doesn't get much better than that. So I think it's sending us a signal that this is the major top. All of it points there. Okay, so let's go down to the 65 and then we'll go around the horn with the other indices, major indices. So again, this is a traditional look. We have that breakout zone. We just back tested it. Could go a little lower, sure. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. And then we're looking for one more high into this time zone here. Okay. And I can get rid of, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to do more of this now. We're looking to get there within this zone. And we're looking more to Monday to Wednesday here on the daily time frame. So I'm going to put this right here and see if we land it right on this point. And so we have a few days, about a week to get there. All right, looking on the Elliott wave Fibonacci picture. Now we've been counting this as an A, B, and a C, right? Because this is an ending diagonal. We're looking for a big ABC, and so this is one leg. We had a correction, and we're looking to finish out this last leg. Now, however you want to count it, 1, 2, maybe 3 with 4. To me, it's almost looking like this was, I pushed this up here to wave 3. Doesn't really matter, but and this is a flat pattern right there. So that's for sure a flat pattern. It came in deep to the former wave 4. So, you know, without getting too gritty, in here in this time frame, I'm looking for 5 to end around this area right here, which is about 10.8. That might be Tuesday. Thursday is the 10th. Wednesday is the 9th. Turnaround Tuesday is the 8th. Look how this all comes together, you guys. It's just amazing what time ratios can do. Now, it doesn't always work the way you want it, but here is turnaround Tuesday. So I could see us going straight into there, exact target into Tuesday, and I'm going to take these off. These are no longer, we're not looking at that. And I'm not going to count this last wave up here that's so micro, it's so small. Just, I swing out, weeks to months. And so I don't really go into the 15-minute to get down to, 5-wave moves here. I try to engulf my trades, my swings. So all of my calls, I'm going to have to scale out into next Tuesday. And then scale into puts. So by the time we get up here, I should have a full set of puts and some call protection just in case price wants to get above the 580. It gets above and holds above, just like this test here. Then we're going up to 599. So that's pretty much it on SPY. I do want to talk about the indicators. So we'll go back to the other board where I kind of draw everything out. All right, so let's go in close here. So you saw that we were getting negative divergence here, here, and then here. Couldn't get above, so this played out. Now we're back to the zero line where we could have support and come back for either a new high or a lower high again. So I could see this being support right now. We're already oversold. We had our negative divergence on all of these as well, all the way up to here, and tried to get up above it, couldn't, and broke down. So what we have on a traditional sense, and the slow stoch hasn't turned yet, so we're gonna have a little bit of time here. If we don't go lower, we're gonna spend a little bit more time here before we go up. And so again, looking at traditional technical analysis, we looked at yesterday the triangle that we had here and possibly breaking out, and it faked us out. It showed breaking out yesterday at the close and then had a fake break, and that's how we had this sharp move here today. I didn't reposition anything at this point. I'm going to look at my shorter term trades that I had for the fourth. They're probably all burned out at this point, but we'll see if I can salvage any of those. And my swings are going definitely into next week surrounding this point here. And I might even add on a couple positions into Tuesday since we have so much precision happening. And I wouldn't put it on Tuesday itself. I'd put it Wednesday just to engulf it. So let me look for a trade into next Wednesday here for SPY. Our SPY calls that we already have are out to the 18th. So I'm not worried about that, but now we have some opportunity for shorter term calls. I'll post that obviously to the members. Let's go to QQQ. The Qs still haven't satisfied this gap close here on the traditional sense. And again, this could be a 1, 2, 3, all the way here, 4, just a simple flat pattern, and then 5. Okay, so it's a breakout, and this you could say is a back test. And then looking for this point of view just to follow up. We left unfinished business here at the 887, and I think that's where we'll get to, and that should be right around Tuesday or right around Tuesday, we'll just say. Yeah, and then so we'll be looking for our top right around here. So that kind of coincides with these just going up together with SPY, nothing fancy. And now what will happen on, so I think this is more of a 3. Just wave 4, pushed out there. And so on IWM, this kind of changes some things for me now. That I don't have to rely on IWM being the leader anymore, because really tech and SPY have just about the same amount of room to go. So this is a 3-wave move. So I do think we go higher than this high here. Do we exceed here? It really doesn't matter to me at that point. Otherwise, we'll be looking at this. So in a traditional sense, we had our triangle, we broke out, and we're back testing right now, okay? Holding that 200 moving average on the 65. We had a flag type pattern, and it still is, but not the way we had it. It failed, and now we're looking to go higher here. Now, what could really be happening? IWM could just be weaker. And if, the targets are satisfied, this could be a 1-2 and possible 1-2, where we get a 1-2-1-2 setup, and this goes much lower, where we probably get our bounce. And this looks like it's leading, so maybe we get down to the options expected move here. And with a bounce going into next week, maybe we just get another lower high and then much lower lows after that. So IWM is just not proving itself. I do have calls in it, and those aren't looking good. So it's just not proving itself to be that leader. But so far, this does look like a 3-wave move at this point. So keep in mind that if we make another lower high, and we're here, we're at about the 220, let's say, just for example, when SPY is hitting 580, and the Qs had hit that 887 point, and we're not making new highs here, you better believe this is gonna fail at that point. Okay, so looking at the bigger picture, we already hit that 786. I'll go to the daily real quick. We had our high here, all-time high. We made an ABC here, and right now we're counting this as an ending diagonal here for the end of B, the major B, and that could have ended here. So we may have to recount this to where this is the 3 right here, and we get a really shallow 4 there, and that would be the top right here in this wick. Okay, so everything's satisfied at the 786, but if price action starts to lead to the upside really hard into Friday and Saturday, then this will end up playing out. So I won't bet on it. I mean, I am betting on it. I have calls out to these targets here, but the in the money call that I had going earlier, that we'll probably take that one off. So anyway, the SMH, same thing with the SMH as the potential IWM. We're making this could be already satisfied. So right now it looks like we have a breakout and a back test, just like everything else. But are we going to close this gap? I don't know. Going to 65. To me, this looks like a 5-wave move down. Impulse. So semiconductors are supposed to lead the market. So with a nice bounce in the semiconductors, this could just simply be a 1-2 setup, and we go lower from there. All right, while Qs eke out a brand new high. So this could have a deep retracement, maybe back to 250. I don't see this going any higher. But like I said, if everything's satisfied, and that's what I talked about in last Friday's video, this impulse 1, we have an A, B, we exceeded this high for a C. So C can be done. We'd have to have an extraordinary move to move to the upside, and that would really drag the Qs to probably new highs. It just doesn't make sense anymore. Okay, so I think this will be weak. We have a weak bounce, and we make a lower high into a 1-2. I think this here, unlike IWM, which doesn't have as much influence on the market, I think this is done. I think we get a lower high, maybe to test that 618 again, and we had lower. And with this lower high, that bounce here, maybe the Qs get its new high, and this just helps everything else bounce, but we don't exceed this high on SMH. Let's do the VIX, and we'll get out of here. So the VIX is starting to move. And at this point, I think the low may be in. We're having a breakout, and I think we're going to backtest this breakout. All right, and so I probably could just, I don't think it's fair to, I don't think it does us any justice to make this line in particular. I think our back, because we didn't make a new low, so that's not a real wedge at this point. We just had this high, and now we're making a higher low, and then another higher low. Okay, so yes, we could probably draw like an inverse head and shoulder. I think I talked about that in the last video. Okay, so that's fair. We could do this since we're rejecting off of it. And really, we were kind of making a triangle here. So I'm kind of doing this as we are doing this video. So we're forming a consolidation zone. I don't think we're going to make a new low here. But as price drops here in the VIX, I think we'll get that new high in SPY and QQQ only. And so after we break out from this point, I think this is our new neckline, and we have a left shoulder, we have the head, which is the low here, and the right shoulder. And I think that this will exceed these highs by a lot. Okay, that's what I got for you. You guys don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.